What's up guys, today we're gonna continue with our YouTube clone, and today we will just probably do the sidebar, and if we have enough time I will also do the styling with you. So let's go. Okay, so so what we want to do is navigate to sidebar folder, and here we want to create two files. The first file is going to be a name of sidebar.jsx, and we can also do rfce, and you have to have React snippets to actually be able to do that command. And while we and after we have actually initialized the standard template for React components, we also want to create a new file called sidebar.css or scss, which is going to be our styling sheet. And we also want to import it, so let's type import and string / sidebar SSS, and we also want to import it in the app.js file. So let's type import sidebar, and I can just type tab, so we essentially want to type in this type of code, and we can just type it in beneath the header secondary, so it's going to be sidebar, and then add an end tag to that. And if we navigate over to Firefox, we won't not necessarily see anything right at the moment, besides the sidebar string here. That's fine. Now we know it's actually initialized, and we can see the component in our browser. So let's start with importing some icons here, and it is going to be a lot of icons. So what we wanna import first is AI fill home. We also want to import AI outline fire, and this is gonna be from React icons / AI. And now we want to insert some PI icons, so import PI. I want a space between. That's just something I like to do, and this is gonna be film reel essentially, and this is gonna be from React icons / PI. And we don't get any errors, right? We actually do get errors. It's because it can't really find sidebar, and this is in sidebar.jsx. It might be because we named this different. Nope, we did not. Wait, what type of line is it? Inline. Okay, that's weird. Module not found, can't resolve React. It's up here. It's gonna be icons. So icons, just like that, and we will probably not have an error at the moment. No, just some warnings, but that's fine because we haven't used the imports that we imported. So now we want to install some more icons. So this is gonna be MD outline. Subscription, I think I spelled it right. We also want to import MD arrow forward IOs, I think. Yeah. We also want to import MD manage history. We also want to import MD outline feedback, and this is going to be from React icons / MD, and we don't get any errors, just some more warning. Yeah, nice. We're gonna get a lot of warnings because we have to use the icons, but that's fine. So now we want to import CG profile. And this is gonna be from React icons / CG. We also want to import We also want to import more icons, so we're gonna import bi solid videos. Wow, videos, just like that. We also want to install bi time 5, I think. Yeah, and we also want to install bi-like. We want to install bi movie play, I think. Yeah, play. We also want to install bi news and bi help circle. And this is gonna be from React icons /bi. We also want to import bs trophy from React icons /bs, and we also want to import CI settings from React icons, and I spelled icons wrong before, /CI, and this is gonna be icons just like that. And now we should have a lot of warnings and apparently some errors. That's because I spelled icons wrong up here as well, so that's fine. Okay, so now I will probably do a little bit of modification in from my original code, because I have programmed it in a bad way, so to speak, but we can fix that. So, but before that, we want to essentially just create a class name of Sidebar. Now, now we want to create some boxes, you can say, and we actually want to have different JavaScript files for them. So let's create a new JavaScript file, and what should we call it? So let's call it sidebar container, for example. And this has to be underscore, I think. And this can be, and I also want to have a capital S in the beginning. So we are. I will actually just rename this whole shit. Sidebar with a capital S, please. Sidebar underscore container. And I also want to have actually not container .js. Okay, so in here we want to create a constant list. So it's gonna be const container, for example, and this is gonna be equal to a list with the different items in it. So let's see, how many items do we want inside of this const here? We actually want to have I'm actually gonna call this sidebar container 1, because we're gonna have multiple constants that we want to import. But in this constant here, we just want to have 2 items. So we're gonna give it an ID of 1 and also a name. This is gonna have a name of home. We also want to have an icon here. So what we can do is do this and say icon, and this is gonna be an icon that we imported, so we can fix that later. And now I want to copy this to create a second item. This is gonna have an ID of 2, and the name is gonna be shorts. Okay, so now we have created this. We actually want to export it as well, so we're gonna type export, and we're gonna destructure it and export container. Just like that. Okay, so what we want to do now is actually copy this line of code here. We're gonna clean this up a bit, and we also want to have this line of code inside of here. And how do we actually use the different icons? It's actually quite simple. We just type AI fill home just like that, and they are probably gonna have some size to it, and the size here is going to be equal to 22, and the second item is going to be pi film reel, and this is also going to have a size of 22 actually. 22. Now we don't probably need this icon here, so we're going to remove it, and I think that's all for the first container, or the first two containers. So what we can do now is just make a loop and loop over all the containers, but we also have to import the consts or the JavaScript files. So we can just type import container with a capital C maybe, container, I'm gonna name this container 1 from /sidebar container 1. And we want to loop over this, so we're gonna do container 1.map, and this is gonna be an arrow function inside of here, and also take in a parameter, which is gonna be, this is not gonna be brackets, this is gonna be parentheses as well, and this is gonna take in an item, and inside of here we want to create a new div with a class name of sidebar container. And we want to create an end tag to this, so we have to do that. And inside of here we want to do, actually just, I think I can do this actually. So we create brackets here and type item dot icon, I think. And then we can do a p tag here and type, I think this is fine, item dot name. And we also want to have a key to this, so they will have different IDs, and here we want to type item.id. So let's see if this displays. I think it might. Okay, we get a huge error. I think I might know why. Let's do this then. Instead of this, you know what? Let's do this. Let's create a new div here with a class name. Or actually we can just do an I tag actually, and do that, and copy this thing here inside, and create brackets, because we need, I think we need brackets. We might not actually need them. Yeah, okay, so if we remove the brackets it should be fine, I think. Nope. I have to Google this up because I don't really know. Oh, okay, so I think we can do something like this maybe before we add the return. So what we can do is essentially, I think we should do okay, so what we can do is actually have brackets here. It's fine to have brackets, but you have to add a return statement so you can render the JSX code. So inside here we can actually do a return statement here with brackets, just like that, and remove this div. Just do brackets like this, and then copy this whole div inside of here, just like that. And then what you can do is make a const here, I think, called icon, and this is gonna be item dot icon, I think. And then you can just display yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, So you can actually just, I'm gonna have a capital I here, and what you can do is remove this whole I tag and do this instead. So I can, just like that. I think that should be fine. And we don't get errors for some reason. Jesus, dude. PI film reel was not found. Okay. Maybe I typed that wrong. Yeah, I know why. Okay, so the problem is because we have a small f here. It's gonna be a big F. So if we reload this and scroll down all the way down, this should be fine, I think. Yeah. Now we have, and the other thing we have to do is actually in sidebar we have to destruct this as well. And I think we still get errors because we are destructing it wrong, I think. If we save this, it's not defined. If we go here, yeah, I know why we get errors. It's because the film reel tag should also have a capital F. Now we still get an error, and that's because we don't name this container1 and export it as well. And this is gonna have a small c, and we want to loop over this function right here. I didn't copy that. And now we should not have to. Okay, never mind. We have errors. Container1 is not defined, and if we go over to the node, we don't have errors. So if we reload this page, we still get errors. Check the render method of sidebar. Okay, so you know what? Let's try this instead. Let's remove this and have just parentheses right here, just like that. And I'm also gonna move this here. And I'm gonna paste this div here, and icon is gonna be moved to icon dot oh, it's gonna be item dot icon, item dot icon, just like that. Will this give us an error? Doesn't seem like it. And boom, we have our icons. So if we go to Firefox, we have the icon here, home, and the short icon is gonna be beneath this, or it's below the second header. So I essentially typed everything correctly besides the import of the icon here. Okay, so that's fine. So now we have done the first container. So what we want to do now is create another div beneath this div here, and it's gonna be beneath this here, and this is gonna just be a div, the class name of line. Oh, sorry guys. It's gonna be a class name of line, and this is just gonna be an empty div. And beneath this, we want to create another div, class name of sidebar container, but we're gonna change the class name a bit because it's not gonna be a sidebar container. It's gonna be sidebar container dash header, and inside of here we want to essentially create or actually what we want to do is create this kind of class name here and create a p tag which is called u, and then we want to have an icon here which is going to be md arrow forward ios, and this is going to have a size of 16, just like that. And beneath this we want to create, I think we can create the loop here, yeah, definitely. So Now we want to create another JavaScript file called, it can be called sidebar container underscore header .js, and inside of here we want to create another const which is gonna be called container header, for example, and this is gonna be equal to a list with different items. The ID of item 1 is gonna be 1. We're gonna have a name of the name, which is gonna be a string, and this is not gonna be brackets. I'm sorry, guys. It's actually gonna be brackets. Never mind. But these are not gonna be brackets. This is gonna be square brackets. So I'm gonna change that, just like that. That's fine. And this is gonna have a string, and the first item gonna have a string of profile, or your profile. And we're gonna have some icons in here as well, but we're gonna do all the items first and then import necessary icons. So let's go to ID 2. It's gonna have an ID of 2 actually, and the name is gonna be your history. And now we want to have a third ID. Oh, whoops, my bad. Third ID, and this is gonna have a ID of 3, and the name is going to be your videos. And we're gonna have a fourth ID with the ID of 4, and the name is going to be watch later. We're gonna have a fifth element, which is gonna have an ID of 5, and the name is going to be liked videos, I think. Yeah, liked videos, just like that. And now we want to use the different icons. So what we want to install is let's see, CJ profile is fine, but we want to use the MD history, manage history, so we can copy this whole line of code here, and we can close this and go. No, actually, we can close this and this actually, and go to sidebar header, which is this, and import that. We also want to have BI solid, so we can import the whole BI import statement as well, and we're gonna fix the unnecessary icons as well. We also want to have a BI of BTime, which we have, and we also have a BLike. So I think that's all. So, and beneath here we can type icon, and this is gonna have an icon of MD manage history with a size of 22, just like that. And beneath this we want to have an icon which is gonna be BI solid or solid videos, and this is gonna have a size of 22 as well. And beneath this we want to have an icon which is gonna be BI time 5, and this is gonna have a size of 22. That's your videos. This is gonna be your history, your profile. Actually, we can remove this because we already have it. No, never mind. That's fine. But then we also want to have this import here as well. So we're gonna import this, and this is gonna have CG profile, and this is gonna have MD manage history, This is gonna have a BI of solid videos, so BI solid videos, and this beneath this name we want to have an icon of BI time 5, and this is also gonna have a size of 22, and beneath this name here we want to have an icon which is gonna be of BI light, I think, and this is gonna have a size of 22 as well. So that's fine, I think. This is like videos. I'm just checking. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we can remove these icons here because we don't need them. So we don't import necessary data, which will probably slow the code down a bit. So we need those. And inside of here we want to, oh yeah, we also want to export this const, and this const is going to be container header, and we also want to destruct it obviously. So it's going to be container header, just like that. And inside of sidebar we want to import container header from /sidebar container header, just like that. And if we said that we don't get any errors at the moment, and beneath this div here we want to loop, actually want to create a div class name. We can actually just copy this whole div here because it's gonna have the same class name, but we want to remove this here. Actually, never mind. We want to loop this constant before we create the div, so let's do that. Container header dot map, and it's gonna take in a parameter of item, which is gonna be an error function and parentheses as well. And for some reason we get an error, and that's because we don't have a parentheses like that, and we also want our parentheses out here. That's fine. And inside of here we can actually just copy this whole div here, just like that. And I'm gonna move it back a bit because the code looks nicer. And inside of here we want to just have item, it's not gonna be square brackets, it's gonna be brackets, item.icon, I think, icon, yeah. And here we want to have p tag, which is gonna be item.name. We also want to add a key to this, which is gonna be equal to item.id. So if we save that and go to our browser, we can see that we have all the icons we need and also the strings we need. So we have actually imported that. That's really good. Now if we go back to VS Code, we will create beneath this, we want to create another div. We can actually just do this. We're gonna copy this line here, just like that. And we also want to create here okay, so what we can do here is to simply just create another div with a class name of sidebar container header. And here we're gonna have just a normal p tag, which is gonna be subscriptions. And beneath this we want to create another we actually want to create another JS file, and that's probably the last thing I will do. And this is gonna have a name of sidebar underscore subscription underscore container .js, just like that. And we can remove this. And inside of here we want to create a const, which can be called sub container, which is equal to a list which have multiple items, and the ID of element 1 is going to be 1, name is going to be and we have a lot of different side containers here, or subscription containers, I think. Yeah, I think we want to... you know what? Never mind. This is actually gonna be quite easy to do, actually. I think, actually, it's gonna be quite easy to do. I just have to think this through. Okay, this is not gonna be too hard, actually. So the subscription container is essentially just gonna have a name. It's not gonna have an icon, so it's gonna be a bit easier to create. And what we want to do is essentially just do type name channel here, and then copy this item or element multiple times. So we're gonna do that like a lot. Maybe that will work. And now we just have to change the different IDs. And the reason why I name all of these channels is because this const here is going to represent all the channels that you have subscribed to. Now, I don't have the potential to be creative to come up with all the channel names, so I just named them channel. But this is something the API will take care of for us, and we haven't really programmed the API as well, so I'm just gonna name it for channel for now, and that should work. Okay, so when all this is done, we're gonna also export the const and destruct it as well. So it's gonna be sub container, just like that. And inside of here we want to import it as well, as we did with all of the different const we created in the JSX files, or the JavaScript files. This is gonna be sub container. And we want to export it from, and I made 2 spaces there, from so sidebar subscription container, just like that. And inside here we can actually copy this div here and create exactly the same, but we want to loop inside of this div here. So we can type sub container dot map, and this is gonna be taken in a parameter of item, and it's also gonna be our function, and we will do yeah, let's do parentheses actually, and this is actually just gonna loop over all the let's see, you know what, we actually don't want to create this loop here. We want to create it outside, and we want to have this sidebar container header inside here, actually. So like that. And inside of here we want to create a div with a class name of sub profile, profile, and this is gonna just be an empty div, nothing in it. And inside of here we want to get a p tag, which is gonna have taking the item dot name, just like that. And this should also have a key, so the key is gonna be equal to item.id. And below this we want to create another empty div with a class name of blue dots, just like that. So that should be fine, I think. Yeah. And if we go to Firefox, we essentially will have a huge list of channels, and we're gonna style them later. But I think that's all for today, actually. There is more to this sidebar, but we will fix that in another episode. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then great for you, and please stick around because I will upload more content like this and also continue on the YouTube clone. This will essentially look like almost exactly like YouTube, and you can use this project for your portfolio or edit it or use it however you want. But anyway guys, thank you for watching and have a great night.